Hello everyone, welcome to the seventh video in my ongoing video diary series on the life of a average mathematician at Oxford. And today, this video is going to be summarizing what happened in the sixth week. And because sixth week is an even week, I've discussed this before, it is relatively chilled. I don't have so much contact hour like tutorials and classes. Next week will be a lot more difficult. So yeah, academically this week was pretty smooth. You know, I did my work quite early. There's not much to say really. Um, Couple of interesting things that did happen this week though. However, first I went to a formal in St. Cat's on Tuesday. That was quite nice. St. Cat's, if you don't know, is like probably the most modern college in Oxford. Um, like I went inside and it's like it feels like I'm in like a Canadian university. If you I don't know if you visited like UBC or like yeah UBC specifically, I remember it's very like um very modern architecture, glass windows, and a lot of indoor like common rooms with like modern furnitures and everything. And the formals were well, not really formal, right? I wore like a sweater and jeans, and I wasn't like underdressed. I wasn't overdressed either, but like it's not a formal with like suits, ties, and everything. It's a very cheap formal, and considering how cheap it is, it's only £4.5, which is like the cost of a normal dinner. It is pretty solid. So yeah, um, thanks to my friend. Thank you for Tiger, my friend who invited me. Uh, um, Other than that, on the food side of things, I have to say I've discovered the beauty of food trucks in Oxford. I absolutely love donut kebabs. They're just amazing, and there's so many good options here in Oxford. I haven't tried much, but the ones I've tried, I've like really liked, and it's all been like recommended, and like a lot of people have like experimented and concluded that they're the best ones. So in the day, the one that I go to, Najars, is just like really nice valued as well. Like you can get a solid meal for like £3, which in England is pretty like that's pretty amazing, and the food is amazing. And for dinner, I would usually, or like after dinner, usually, I would go to Hassan's, which is this, and I've went to Hassan's like probably 10 times in the span of a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe way more actually. I don't know. I've been there like maybe once a day, probably. Hassan's also decently valued food, great kebabs and great options. There's a lot of things you can try, and all of them are really good. I did actually want to try to get kebabs to Hassan's today. As you can see here, I do have kebab in my hand right now, but I wasn't able to get Hassan's today because I don't know why. I walked down with my friend and Hassan's just wasn't there. Like it was terrible. I had to try somewhere new. I tried this place that's close to college. The food so far that I've tried is pretty good, but it is a little bit more expensive. It was like £9 for a box this big, but yeah, quality wise, it's pretty decent as well. So that's the food side of things. Um, I also did go to a Oxford Union talk this week, made by Joe Kennedy the third. But yeah, one of the descendants of JFK. Um, yeah, I bought a Oxford Union membership because I think it is worth it to like to listen to these like famous people talk and to like listen to the debates. We have Jordan Peterson coming in next week. I really look forward to that. Um, not because I'm particularly right wing or anything, just putting that out there. But yeah, the talk this week was really good. It was about it was okay. It was pretty good. It was about how to implement democracy in a like meaningful way. You should his point is basically you should have like strong local political powers to make sure that everyone is represented instead of like the way it's done in the U.S. now. A lot of like um, cities are neglected, I think is the main point. Um, I was a bit late because I was at volleyball training, so I didn't really like listen to the start of the speech. And speaking of volleyball, this week was there was a lot of games. So first we had a game on Wednesday against Bournemouth, which was just a terrible, terrible loss. Like it was the worst volleyball game I've ever played. It was I personally played really badly. I think the team just like there was no energy, and in general like I've never hated playing volleyball so much. Like I was put on the bench for the third set. We lost 3-0. I was put on the bench for the third set, and that's great. I can sit and rest and not do anything. I don't want to play. Like that's never happened before. Uh, but yeah, so like it was so bad. I went home and I was like I can't stay in my room. I will probably like start banging my head against the table or something like that. It was like yeah, I couldn't like go to bed after that game lost so bad. So I went out with my friends to go clubbing in the biggest club here, Attic, which was genuinely a massive club. Like I've went clubbing a few times in China and we have like massive clubs, but this is like massive in a whole different way. It's like in China you have like one big massive room. I think at least the ones I've been to, it's like usually one big massive room, a big, and it has like a pretty big dance floor for everyone. This is just different. This is you have like different rooms, different dance floors, different music within the same club. I've never had that before. But yeah, I guess that's pretty good. It allows you to like choose what kind of music you want to vibe to. But the experience clubbing itself was fine, but I had to wait in line. I had to buy a ticket beforehand, and I still had to wait in line for 30 minutes, and that I think is just kind of takes the point out of things a bit. That was not very fun, but other than that, it was like the actual experience was not too bad. So that was game Wednesday, and then we had a scrim on Friday for instead of training. We had a scrimmage against Oxford Brook, another university here in Oxford, and we just basically had a friendly match. And Saturday we had a student cup qualification tournament. So basically, it's like a tournament. We played 4 games in total. We left Oxford at like 8 a.m. in the morning. Went to a different city. I can't remember where. I fell asleep on the way over, so I don't know where we went. But yeah, went to a different city. Played 4 games, and we actually won 3 out of 4 games. So if you've been like watching my videos, we haven't won a game in our league yet. So I went in with very little confidence, but we actually won, which means so, which means it is it is predictable in a sense, right? Because we are the best. We are in the top league. So even though we are quite bad for our league, we are still better than teams below our league. So that's pretty good. But yeah, it was great fun playing against the teams and to play so many games. And I also think I've developed a lot as a player in the short span of a day. My first 2 games were quite dodgy, but like I think I really stepped it up I had some pretty good performance in the third and fourth game. That will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next week.